So I'm not quite sure, you know, that there's really a problem with these homeowners, that they may be, have their concerns, you know, in the wrong direction.
Thank you.
Bob? One more comment. Bob Eustace against 21 William Street. I live on that street. You guys live on that street. Which way does the wind blow, usually? Uphill.
Okay. Approximately how far is this tank from the house?
From the house?
From that house? I don't know property line, how far is it from the house?
About 75 feet.
75 feet?
No way.
What about Markowitz?
Excuse me. Excuse me. I thought that was a lot closer. Yes, ma'am. Can I have your name?
Susan Bloom from the Village of Goshen, 10 Hillcrest Avenue.
Susan?
How many feet is it from Vincent Marowski and Dick Marowski's house?
Well, we're measuring that.
We say 60 feet? 65 feet.
65 feet. So it's
To the tank itself.
okay. So if there was an explosion or something and the wetlands and the air did go up, you know, because I used to live up on Prospect Avenue. I grew up there in the neighborhood. We all are old Goshen, so everyone's looking out for the protection, you know, of their health and their safety, and they have good reason to be concerned. You mentioned before that there would be, like an emergency, as the book you were reading, some kind of emergency plan for evacuation. Do you have an evacuation
Response
plan?
book?
Yeah. Do you have something?
And if there is an incident, yes, the surrounding area would be evacuated.
Do you have it in writing, the plan?
Do I have it in writing?
Yeah, is it in
We've got
writing?
the same booklets. But what do you mean, a
Do
plan?
you have a plan to notify the neighbors if something happens?
Obviously, emergency personnel would do such if there was ever an incident.
Okay, so we would like to see that in writing, then what that plan is.
Well,
Susan, address everything
Oh,
up here.
well, we would like to see in writing that, what the emergency plan is for evacuation.
Well, I would imagine it's in the 2008 response book. Is that correct?
It says in the book right here that immediate evacuation with precautionary measures isolate the spillway for at least 100 meters, 330 feet in all directions. It also states that if there's a large spill, to consider an initial downwind evacuation of at least 800 meters or 1/2 mile.
Down.
Downwind. That's a lot to ask about for the fire department.
That's a lot of work. So then the fire department would be responsible then for that?
Well, it'd be their responsibility.
Okay.
Are there any other questions? Any other comments? Yes, sir.
Are you just guessing how many feet?
Can I please have your name for the record?
Vince Moreski, 2 Center Street.
Thank you.
Are you just guessing on the footage that you're away from my property or my house?
No, it's from a survey.
We just scaled it off.
We just scaled it from minutes to survey.
And how many feet was that?
It was about approximately 65 feet.
How many?
65 high.
From your house.
Side of your house to the tank.
Not from the property line, from the tank.
Are there any more comments?
Wait up my back door.
Okay. Board members, are there any comments? I have a motion to close the public hearing?
So moved.
Do I have a second? Second. All those in favor?
Aye.
Okay, I'd like to open up the regular Village of Goshen Planning Board meeting on May 18th at 7:50. First on the agenda will be the car wash. Mike, what are we saying with this?
Well, you notified for a public hearing, you closed the public hearing, you have the recommendations of the fire department in terms of the safety measures that need to be met. If you feel you need further information from them, you can certainly ask for it. If you think those points are covered, I think they're in a position to act on the application unless, I can tell you through John or Work, have issues that need to be addressed before you can take action.
Okay. Mr. Rock?
No, no additional comments. Already reviewed the plans before, so he was satisfied.
Okay. Board members? Dominic, any comments?
Would it be possible if you had a concrete slab across the whole tank, maybe the community would feel better about that? Is that possible if you pour in concrete, if you want to enclose the whole top of it at least? I mean, you pour in concrete, the community is for that?
Absolutely.
Oh, sorry.
Yes, Paul, Mr. Ledoux just said we're going to, portion of it's going to be poured anyway, so it's, a couple more yards of concrete, it's not going to be the end of the world, so we can do that.
Covered.
Cover. So what we'll do is, right now, is the whole, what we had before was a slab that the tank's down on, inside the tank area, and this is concrete now, so what we'll do is, the concrete in the tank area. So we'll do slab concrete. So in essence, it's a wall. Right. 6 inches steel reinforced.
Any more questions?
No, I don't have any questions. I understand everyone's concerned about that. I think that Mr. Ledoux has demonstrated that he wants to be a good neighbor. He's doing as much as he possibly can to mitigate any and all concerns. I don't know if Jerry had mentioned this, but there's no prohibition against anyone having a tank like this in the village. We act on zoning codes. We can only do that. We can't deny or approve anything unless it meets zoning. And from what I'm hearing from our council and from another board engineer, is that this meets all codes that are required in the village of Goshen. I don't think that we can disapprove or approve anything that doesn't meet or meet zoning code. I understand the concern. I would be very concerned if I lived in an area also, but there are other propane tanks in the area for homeowners use, for commercial use, for residential use also. It's unfortunate, but that's the way it is.
Okay. I do have a question, Mr. Esposito. Is there a safety program was mentioned before? Is there a policy, or is this inspected, the tank, any problems? Is it done annually, semi-annually, quarterly?
There's, I'm sorry, Bill Elwood, from Yankee Propane. There is an annual inspection that we perform on all pump stations. Any problems are corrected. We check for fire extinguishers to make sure that they're properly located as well as tested. Any possible leakage is checked for. Rarely do we find any problems, but anything and everything is corrected. Any problems as far as the pumping station, any time of day or night, we're operating 24 hours, 7 days a week with emergency response personnel. Our equipment itself, everything is installed brand new and maintained to a brand new condition. So as far as the pump station itself, it's extremely well maintained.
I have a question.
Is there a release valve of some sort of safety device?
Yes, there are relief valves located.